Welcome again to Educator.com, and we are in the last section of the course, and this is the Introduction to Creative Writing. Now, Introduction to Creative Writing is going to be a lot different than a lot of the other writing that we've done, which is why I've kind of dedicated this entire little section to it. There's a lot more that can be learned about this than what you're going to be learning in these next few sections, but the goal is to write your first short story, and then that's it. I didn't say novel, I didn't say movie script, it's just a short story. It's a small task and it's going to be a fun task. And I'm going to show you how that's fun. Think about everything that we've done so far in this course. Well, we have learned how to structure an essay. We've learned how to proofread and edit, how to cite, how to research. We've learned a little bit of rhetoric. We've learned a little bit of logic and critical thinking. And we've learned proper transition words. Think back to the very beginning of this course and think back to when I was talking about the halves of the brain. What part of the brain do you think we've worked with mostly throughout this entire course? Well, it's the left brain. Almost everything here is a left brain task, and well, that's because in academia we tend to be a little bit sighted towards that side of the brain. And as you go into college, well, you just have to kind of be a little bit sighted towards that side of the brain. But education's changing, and there's going to be a lot of emphasis in the future to try to get us to go to that other side of the brain a lot more often. And that's part of the reason why this is in the course. So, as we approach this creative writing, there's a couple rules that you're going to have to remember first. You are not allowed to say or think the following things. I am not creative. And you're not allowed to say that because everybody is, and I'm going to prove it to you. Creativity is not as important as math, science, etc. You might hear this from your teachers, you might even hear this from your parents. I'm going to show you that this is not actually true either. Creativity cannot be taught. Well, actually, it is possible. It is possible. And let me tell you, a lot of people go through a lot of their lives thinking they're not creative because they never learned how. And they didn't think that you could be taught. Well, that's actually not true either. There's a lot of people who went through a lot of exercises and a lot of techniques, and they learned how to be creative. I'm going to give you a hint. This is partially correct. It's partially correct that creativity cannot be taught, but I'm going to show you how it's mostly a lie. So these are the rules. You can't say or think the following things. Now, we're going to go to a gentleman named Sir Ken Robinson. He's a British guy. I'm not going to imitate his accent because I can't do it as well as he can. But he has a series of TED Talks, and I'm sure that maybe some of you have watched a few TED Talks. If you haven't, you should. He's got a lot to say about modern education and education in the past and how we kind of have education set up in a little weird way. Believe it or not, it's a little crazy. But here we go. Ken Robinson actually says everybody's born creative.